everybody? Welcome to another edition of Box Seats. Your host, Frank Holder, here with you. This is the show we talk about sports with comedians. So let me get ready to get the comics in here, and let's get ready to get this show started. My man Talent is in the building. T, what's going on, bro? How you doing?
Got my lucky Jets hat on. I'm getting that energy, baby. I feel like we getting in. I'm looking at the playoffs right now, bro.
Yeah, it might be coming. Let's see. My man Michael Sean is also in the building. Mike, what's up, man? How you doing?
It's not coming. How y'all doing?
Does that mean you're doing okay? My man,
Everything's good.
Mo is in the building too. Mo, what's happening, bro? How you doing?
Hey, I just want to say, after that petition that Talent put out to cancel Sit Your Ass Down yesterday, I got notification from the producers. They're going to give me my own show. Thanks, Talent.
I didn't even see that. That was on the text. Damn.
All right. So let's go ahead and jump into it, man. Let me do the boxes right. You know, I gotta get the squares right because Mike will be on me if I don't get the squares right. Talk about the squares ain't right. The squares got to be right. So the squares got to be right. So let's kick it off with something I was gonna talk about yesterday, man, and even more developed today. The Mets are concerned with Carlos Carrera. That was yesterday's morning's news, and this morning the news came out that Carlos Carrera, who was supposed to be signing for the Mets for $350 million over 13 years. He said he's not making changes to his medical report. He's not making changes to the contract. He's not making changes. So you take it as is. So I guess my question to you, T, is should the Mets take that deal with Carlos Carrera? Because he has back issues. He had surgery on his back, he had surgery on his leg, his knee. He had a lot of surgeries and everything else. Should the Mets just say, you know what, we're going to just forego this and rock with it? Or should they rescind their offer to him? What's your thought?
Well, I mean, after the reaction of most people, I would rescind the offer. Sometimes you do something and then you get a second chance. When you see the reaction of everybody, everybody's like, why? How could you? It's too much money, blah, blah, blah. Maybe it's time to rescind that offer. You feel what I'm saying? Like I would. If I'm in the front office, I'm like, you know what, let's rethink this thing, rethink this situation. Is it worth it? Do we need it that bad to go that deep into the money? And I rescind it if it was me.
Okay, you would rescind it?
Absolutely.
Mike, it seemed like to me Carlos ain't passing the physical because most of these things are already subject to whether or not you pass the physical. And it seemed like to me he wasn't passing the physical, which is also the reason why the other deal he had didn't go through because he wasn't passing that physical. So what would you do if you were the Mets?
They should have never signed the contract to begin with. I mean, I've never spent a day as a general manager, but if a player has issues with another team that offered him a mega contract and it's his back that's the problem, like why the hell did y'all even jump on this and offer the guy over $300 million when he couldn't clear a physical for another? You think the other team didn't want to sign him? They wanted to sign him, but they realized that's like buying a car and you watch somebody try and start it and it didn't start, but you buy it anyway. But you actually saw the guy not able to start the car. It makes no sense to offer him this amount of money. And they look crazy right now because everybody's going, you already knew his back was messed up. Right. You trying to say you didn't believe the prior team? I don't know if it was the Giants or whoever it was that tried to sign him before that. Yeah. Why would the Giants not sign him? They didn't sign him because of his back. A back is crucial in any athlete's career. Any athlete, a golfer, anybody.
Anybody. Mo, what would you do if you was the Mets? Would you sit there and say, you know what, we'll just sign you to this deal? And especially if you ain't passing the physical, you know what I mean? What would you do?
Man, if you can't pass the physical, I can't pass you the check. That's how it go. I can't pass the physical, you can't get the check. Can't send it to you. You know, there's certain requirements. They talking a lot of money, and this is not like football where you can make, adjustments and it ain't. This is guaranteed money. All of it. You got to pay that, man. So nah.
Yeah.
They were sitting back. This is the only team that went from the Jeffersons to good times overnight.
Most definitely.
But I like the gangster of the athlete's attitude. They're like, your back ain't right. He's like, so you gonna take less money? He goes, no. I like that gangster. He's like, yeah, my back hurt. Pay me.
So T, the Chargers last night, they cruised past the Colts. I'm watching the game last night, man. It was very boring to me. And I'm thinking the Colts look like they're trying their best to get the number 1 seed, bro. That's the way it looked like to me. It looked like they're tanking. That's why that's the way I was getting it, because the mistakes they were making was colossal mistakes. It's just ridiculous mistakes.
Yeah.
I don't know. What was your take on the Colts Chargers game last night? Chargers ended up securing the playoff spot though, first time in years. So
right, I could see them tanking. Those were the prettiest, most perfect interceptions ever in life. Dude, you didn't know who was offense and defense. It was that clear and apparent on the inside. Like, okay, you see, you guys don't want to. And I agree with you, Fred. It was so boring. By the third quarter, I was flicking through these pictures on Instagram. Did you see what went viral with all the WNBA pretty girls?
No, I was watching the game.
They found those?
It's a bunch of WNBA girls who on their social media posting like nice bikini joints and everything.
Oh, wow.
That's where it was last night. Yeah, that was dope. But you know how bad this game was? A guy at the bar had he made a mistake and almost won. He took the under of 21 points. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, who would take under 21 in an NFL game? That's 2.5 scores, right? Fool almost won. It was 26.
23.
That's how bad that game is.
It was 23.
I think they tanking, Frank. You're right.
I think they're tanking. Listen, Mike, I saw Nick Foles play. I ain't never seen Nick Foles play that bad ever. Like I've seen him play like maybe 10, 15 times. I've never seen him play that bad. I thought literally they were tanking. But the Chargers did secure a playoff spot. What was your take on the Chargers beating up on the Colts last night, bro?
Y'all give me all like, I think they're tanking now. They were tanking when they hired a weatherman to be their head coach. Like they've been tanking when he hired his boy to be like the head coach. Like they're not trying to lose. They just that bad. Like when you bring Nick Foles on to start as your quarterback, like poor Nick Foles is like, what y'all want me to do? Like, I'm done, but I'm going to take these checks. And the Chargers got in and the NFL's so happy because, Herbert is like everybody's favorite quarterback that hasn't been to the playoffs and done anything in the playoffs. So the NFL's ecstatic right now. They would love to see the Chargers and the Chiefs in the playoffs. They would love that. They would love the ratings for that.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. Let me ask you, Mo. The Chargers ended up obviously making the playoffs for the first time in a while. They got a QB. People are picking them to make a couple of upsets. I don't see that happening at all. But, they're in there. They're excited. There's that. And there's also the fact that the Colts look like they're tanking. What was your takeaway from the game last night?
Yeah, I didn't see too much of the game, but I did see clips. Yeah, they try to fall out. They don't care right now. Just like they got Jeff Saturday in there, they just do whatever they can to get through the rest of the season, and that's it. And as far as the Chargers, that's it for them too. They should be tanking too, but they not. They fought and they in there, but they're going to get beat up on when they get in the playoffs. They ain't going to last.
Yeah, right. Because if they lose right now, I think they face the Chiefs in the playoffs as is right now. I'm not sure. Or the Chiefs or the Bills. So, because the lowest seed always faces the highest seed. So there's that. So they'd be in problems with that.
And one thing, though, they play the Giants next. The Colts got the Giants, so keep on tanking.
Yeah.
Keep tanking.
Keep on tanking.
Yeah,
keep it going, homie.
All right, so, T, here's the other thing. Yesterday, before the game last night, the news release was Tua Tagovailoa. I cannot pronounce his last name, but news came out that Tua got back in concussion protocol again for the third time in one season. And people in Miami are concerned, obviously his third concussion. Miami's lost 4 straight. If you're the Miami Dolphins, what's your thoughts? And should Tua play anymore for the season? Because my opinion, I think he should be done for the year, and it shouldn't even be a question. But he's in concussion protocol right now, and the Dolphins are sitting there saying we want to try to make the playoffs. What's your take, T?
I seen that this morning, and I said, "Here we go. The fix is in. The fix is in." Yo, the NFL so blatant with this ish right now. So he goes. Nothing happened to this dude, by the way. I watched the whole game. Nothing happened. But he's back in concussion protocol. Talk about tanking so that they have a possibility, your team that is, Frank, of beating them this coming week. And by beating them, you push us out. Because in the division, you guys beat us twice. So you're going to just let New England get this win? Put that little concussion Negro in there and win that damn game.
See? I'm gonna tell you this right now. The Patriots are still gonna lose this game. Bro. So,
You think so?
yes, I think so.
I don't know. I don't know, bro. I think the fix is it. And they ain't no home.
The Patriots are horrible, bro. They're gonna still find a way to lose this game. My man Mike, Tua, I can't even pronounce his last name, is in concussion protocol right now. The Dolphins have lost 4 straight. If you are the Dolphins, do you play Tua or wait for a week or two to play him? Or what's your thoughts? Because they're so concerned about making the playoffs.
That's a tough. You really shouldn't play him. Like, in all honesty, like, common sense would tell you this is his 3rd concussion of the season.
Right.
That would explain him 12 interceptions he threw in the 4th quarter. But I wouldn't play him. But Miami's in such a situation right now. Like, Tua's gonna really want to play because trust me, all the rumors will start. If he doesn't play, the rumors are gonna start about Aaron Rodgers going to Miami, and once those rumors start, then everything starts. Like, he has no choice but to play. But in honesty, the organization shouldn't have him play. Now, I get Talon's angle, but he really shouldn't play for the rest of the season. Yeah. But he probably will.
Yeah, and ex-NFL players, Mo, are talking to him and tweeting and everything else, saying, please don't play. They out there saying that. You know,
and if you think you have a hard time saying his last name, let him play another game. He's going to have a hard time saying his last name also.
You know what? I
don't even know if I can follow that one. We might just have to go to the next segment.
Facts. Mo, would you play him if after the Dolphins lost 4 straight? Would you play him?
No, man, I ain't gonna play him. After that last one where he was on the floor all curled up like a baby, like if Halle Berry came and told me it's over and the checks are gone, curled up like this. No, you don't play him because if something happens, they liable regardless.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
Look, man, I'm tired of this. If something happened. I'm tired of this light-skinned approach. It's football.
Yeah, but
of
it's
course
Alabama.
Going to happen.
Yeah, but it's the Alabama court. I told you yesterday, I am not impressed with Alabama quarterbacks. It's just something I got about them. I'm telling you, they don't last. It's like Duke. It's like NBA players that come from Duke. I just got this.
That's messed up.
Right, so,
yeah, that's why guys in the NFL walking around like Earl Campbell right now, because of people like talent.
Yeah.
People like talent. Earl Campbell got sausages, and he keeps saying it's my favorite sausage. He don't even know it's his. Pause.
Wow.
Let me tell you something. I went and spent all my money on these big 60-inch TVs. You got to get hit.
Yeah, you got to get hit. Once twice.
I didn't stop watching the soap opera so that my sports could become soap operas. No.
Or flag football either. Like, that's the whole point.
Oh, man.
All right, so here we are with the Eagles, T. The Eagles are sitting there having a conversation whether or not Jalen Hurts should be playing. I think they're playing the Saints this week. Let me look at my notes. It looks like they're playing the Saints. So the thought is that Jalen Hurts literally is sitting up there saying, you know what? That they possibly should play him this week. So, they're playing the Saints. If you are the Eagles, wouldn't you rest him? But the Eagles are not ruling him out, saying that he could play this week against the Saints. What's your take?
Yeah, I think that's to fake me out. They can't be that blind or stupid. That's just to fake me out to get as many days as you can with the other team practicing like he's going to be there. One of the oldest tricks in the book. They cannot be that stupid. You've won enough games to situate yourself where you could take a couple off and let this guy heal up and come back and make a playoff run for you for the Super Bowl. That would be asinine, Frank, to play him knowing that the show give a shoulder another week or two. Yeah. You got the luxury.
Yeah, that's why I look at it. Plus, Mike, the Saints are 6-9. I think the Eagles got a comfortable 2 games ahead of the Vikings. I don't see what the rush is to try to rush them, but it is about having that first week off. You know what I mean? People are trying to play for that playoff bye.
Ooh, don't have the mega collapse happen. Don't lose to the Saints, and the Cowboys beat the Titans, and then your last game is the Giants. The Giants ain't even on the Eagles level. But don't blow home field advantage and have the Giants beat y'all on the last game of the season and watch that city be up in flames if the Cowboys win that division and y'all don't have home field advantage because my Giants and Mo's Giants did that to you, forget the playoffs. I would love to see this collapse. I would love it go from my quarterback's the MVP to we got to play a road playoff game. Them cats would not recover. I promise you that team wouldn't recover. Should they be able to sit out Jalen Hurts? They should. They should be able to beat the Saints without Jalen Hurts. But boy, you talk about being a Saints fan this weekend. I might go get me a Saints jersey. Man, listen, I would love nothing more than the Saints to beat the Eagles this weekend. That would be glorious.
You hear this? This is blasphemous right now. This is like,
listen, I'm not saying like the Saints will go to Kansas City. I'm saying I'm hoping if that would be lovely, y'all.
Hey, Mike, any given Sunday, it can
happen. I heard that from y'all squares. I heard that.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. All right, so Mo, do you think the Eagles are thinking like exactly what Mike said? Because Mike put it out there. Maybe the Eagles management and people up there are thinking like what Mike is saying, like, let's look at the schedule and Jalen Hurts is the man, but maybe we shouldn't rest him. What's your take, Mo?
Listen, sit him out. I just sat here. We all just sat here and said about Tua sitting out, but some of us want Tua to go in the game and get murdered so his team can make the playoffs. But yet and still, he got a shoulder injury. No, man, sit Jalen out. Sit him out. Let's sit him out. They should be able to beat the Saints.
Right. They should be able to beat the Saints, but should and could is a whole lot different. You know what I mean? That's the problem I think these guys are having.
But they all say he should be able to beat Dallas too.
Yeah, that's true. All right, so I got some numbers yesterday, T, and this is what I had to look at this, right? Russell Wilson got a cap hit of $35 million, $55 million, $58 million, $53 million, and $54 million. That's his cap hit for the next 5 years. That's his cap hit. Now, the Denver Broncos can cut him literally at the end of next season. They can cut him, but this cap hit is still $35 million. People are saying that Russell Wilson should literally be cut this year, and Denver should walk away and try to get Sean Payton, because Sean Payton, everybody was hearing that Sean Payton assembling his whole coaching staff, and they want him to come to Denver. What's your thoughts on Russell Wilson literally cap hit to Denver, and what should Denver do with this coaching situation? Because we all talked about the coach getting fired yesterday. Coach Nathaniel Hackett got fired after a 4-11 start. First one of 4 coaches to get fired in season. First season too. What's your take?
Well, that part is easy. You know what I mean? The Peyton coming over there looks good. Getting rid of Russell into this season looks great. But the real problem is you want to win out there, you got to move the team down a little bit, because Mile High is killing you. It's killing you, and it's your home field. Come down to Colorado Springs.
Move them to
Check it out. Denver's clearly altitude is too high for even them. Like that back in the day when Elway played, even when Manning played, that was a home field advantage. Like they got to come in and breathe this air. They're gonna be wheezing. We got the advantage. Now these dudes clearly it's too high for them.
Unbelievable.
So they need to move that joint down to Colorado Springs. That's first of all. I like that look though. I like that Peyton coming to coach look. You definitely got it. I hate to say it, man. I say what I said a year ago. Maybe 2 years ago. Once you ever hear the expression, somebody see you with a girl, be like, "Yo, she out of your league."
Right.
That's what happened to Russ. He stuck his thing in that thing, and that thing was way out of his league, and he ain't played right since.
Unbelievable.
Beautiful family, though. Beautiful family. But that thing, I do it every time.
All right, I am not going to alleviate on that. Mike, Sean, let me ask you this, bro. The cap hit is 35, 55, 58, 53, $54 million. We're talking about Russell Wilson. The show's called Box Seats. Thank you all for watching and commentating. We appreciate all y'all doing that. But Michael, Sean, give me your thoughts on this Russell Wilson cap hit. Should Denver cut their loss right now before that $35 million cap hit and then try to get in Sean Payton and let him work his magic? Or I think Sean would take that job though, because it's Denver. You know what I mean? I think he would.
That don't make no. First of all, when you said let's look at the numbers, I had radio flashbacks. So after we get off the air and they want us to look at damn numbers, but I will say this. That was bad days.
Yeah.
Why would Sean Payton take a job where there's no quarterback and you have no draft picks? Why would Sean Payton go into that mess when y'all have no ability and y'all won't have any salary cap movement and space? Because if y'all get rid of Russell Wilson, he's still a hit on your salary cap. If anything, you would keep Russell Wilson and say, Sean, you know he can still play. We know you can make this happen because you made it happen with Drew Brees for years when Drew Brees couldn't throw the ball more than 30 yards down the field. So he can make this happen. But I don't think Sean Payton's going to Denver. So I think Denver's stuck. They got to get an up-and-coming head coach who's offensive-minded, who can have a scheme that helps Russell Wilson. Like, you got to play the way Russell Wilson likes to play, which means you have to have a running game. You have to play action. You have to roll him out. You got to do the things he's comfortable with. He's just not that dude that you just put in and he sits in the pocket and he does what everybody else like Aaron Rodgers does. He's not that dude. You got to set an offense to him.
What'd you say? Are you saying Eric Bieniemy would be prime for that position?
Yeah, but there's something that's going on in Eric Bieniemy that nobody's going to take him on.
Yeah,
and Eric Bieniemy, if I was Eric, I might turn this down just out of spite and just sit here and wait it out till Andy Reid retires.
Yeah, I can see that too. Mo, what's your take? Do you think Russell Wilson should get obviously cut? Do you think Denver is going to cut him? Do you think Denver should get Sean Payton in it? Like, what's your thoughts on all the stuff we're discussing? What's your take?
Man, it's just so confusing. I don't know, but it reminds me of a scene from Goodfellas. You know, now they got Russell Wilson on their team. You need a touchdown, give it to Russell. You need to win the game, give it to Russell. But Russell ain't deliver. But now you got to give Russell his money. And you make the playoffs, F you, pay me. So when you do, at the end of it, you burn the joint. So get rid of them all. Start over. Hey, take the loss and keep moving.
Yeah, I don't know if they can do all that though. That's the problem. I mean, they have a huge problem with that money because that cap hit ain't no joke. You know what I mean? That cap hit is
no, he's right. He's right. You got a good fellow, this dude. You got to take him out. You got to. You know that scene. You know that scene when Ray Liotta's in jail and the wife go to see Robert De Niro. He's down there with the fur coats and all that. He go pick yourself out of the coat.
Go down,
keep going. Don't go a little further. He was gonna kill her. Keep going. She's like, I'm good. We got a Russell Wilson. No, keep going. Go down there. Keep going. Oh God, I like it. He's right. Good fella though.
All right, so let me ask you this, right? Since we talked about the Denver Broncos, I don't know if y'all caught the news of this, but Randy Gregory from the Rams and O'Day Abush both got suspended because they got into a fight at the end of the Rams game and Denver Broncos game on Sunday. I don't know if y'all saw that. It really wasn't that big of a fight. A couple of pushing match and everything else. I guess my quick question to you guys is, since the fight really wasn't that televised and it was after the game, should the NFL suspend both these players one game apiece for literally a shoving match? No punches was really thrown. Everything else. What's your take on this, T? It wasn't televised. It wasn't,
First of all, it sounded like a setup for a good joke. There was a fight at the end of the Rams and Denver Bronco game. Where? Who's fighting that game? No, I mean, you leave that alone. You know why? Because of the reason I just said. You don't want to draw any more attention to that. Like a fight of an insignificant war of, I don't know what they were fighting over. Like, it's the Rams who are sucking it up versus Denver Broncos who are sucking. I think they got like 4 wins between them. So you leave them alone. You don't bring no more attention to that. Like you said, nothing crazy happened, a lot of shoving and back and forth. Again, this is how I like my football. I want the bravado. I want the animosity. I want the beefs. I want the rivalries. I bought a 60-inch TV, goddamn.
He's still on that TV.
I want to see
still on that TV.
Mike, should the NFLPA step in? Because obviously, these are players getting ready to lose a check, and they both getting suspended without pay.
If the NFLPA if the league don't suspend them, the Rams, their team should suspend them, so they don't have to pay them for the because they ain't done nothing the whole season. Like, it just kills me when these dudes act up on the side. You ain't done nothing. What are you mad about? You all suck together. Like, what are y'all arguing about? Like, what was the fight? I want to know what the fight is. It's like, you ain't make the play. Dog, we ain't been making plays all year. Why are you mad now? You wasn't mad when we still in playoff contention. I'd suspend both parties. I don't care who started it. I don't care who lost who. I suspend them all for the last 2 games of the season with no pay. Y'all don't deserve it.
Yeah, because
go.
suspended without pay is a really, because these dudes get hundreds of thousands of dollars per check per game. So I guess I'm gonna ask you, Mo, do you think that the NFLPA should step in and stick up in their behalf since the fight happened after the game?
Nah, man, leave them cats alone. The reason why I like the NFL is because even when the dude scores, you can push him out of bounds and they don't call a foul or a technical. I like the rah in football. Leave him alone, man. It's good for the game. And that's what happens when you lose. You ain't supposed to be happy when you lose. You're supposed to start a fight. You're supposed to smack somebody. That's how it goes down.
Yeah,
you mad. You're supposed to
now
be
you want to
mad.
sound like me, Mo. Now you want to sound like me. You just worry about a little concussion protocol. Now you said you're supposed to smack them out. Pick a side, Mo. Pick a goddamn side to stand on. You just a little too. You okay? Now, I want him to smack him. I want him to rock. Get out of here, Rock.
Pick a side.
He was waiting. He was laying in the bushes for me on that one. He was deer hunting on me.
Look, he throw you out the show because, bro, T got to move and throw you out the show. T, show him the move and throw him out the show. You out the show.
Yo, God forbid a player could die on the field and Taylor would want the players to move out the way. He said, you think I brought this 60-inch television screen so I could miss somebody dying on the field? Move out the way.
He ain't lying. All right, so T, since you got your Jet boy hat up there, bro, here's the deal. Mike White officially got cleared yesterday afternoon to play. Joe Flacco officially got his move to be second in command, but Zach Wilson is inactive for the game. Talk to me about what your thoughts about Zach Wilson being inactive for the game, and obviously Joe Flacco being number 2. What's your take, T?
I'll tell you, Mike. Hold up. Yeah, come back to me. I gotta go cough this shit. Oh.
Okay. So let me ask you this, Mike. What's your take on this, Mike? What's your thought?
I don't think it's going to make a difference. I think what's going to make a difference is that they play Seattle. These are the 2 teams that have come back to earth rapidly. That started off well. So the Jets do have a shot to win this game. They have a shot. That defense has a shot to take it on their shoulders and frustrate Geno Smith. They got a shot. Now, if they lose this, I don't ever want y'all to ever say the team you don't want to see in the playoffs ever again when it comes to the Jets. I don't ever want to hear you never know when it comes to the Jets. If they lose this one, a matter of fact, Taylor's not allowed to wear any Jets paraphernalia. He can't if they lose against the Seahawks this week.
All right, you hear that, Mo? I can't wait until Tyler comes back. We're going to ask him that. So let me ask you this, Mo. Mike White is officially cleared to play. Joe Flacco is put in as number 2. Zach Wilson was downgraded to being inactive. Yeah, that's from the Jets right now. And the Jets are struggling to make the play. Now, let's be clear now. Since Miami lost, the Jets have a chance. Because if the Patriots lose, the Jets got a chance. You know what I mean? So what would your take be, Mike? What you think?
Man, I don't know. It's like it's confusing over there, man. It's like I don't even know what the Jets are trying to do. Are they trying to win? They're trying to succeed. They're trying to move. Let's just wait and see what happens. That's the kind of team the Jets are. You don't know what you're going to get. You don't know what's going to happen. Let's just wait and see what happens. But they should try and go and win. I mean, I'm Giants first, New York always. I don't want to see the Patriots in there, but I keep telling y'all, all roads go through Buffalo for that AFC East, baby. And that AFC.
All right, so let me lay it out to you, T. I'm lay it out. Mike White got cleared. Joe Flacco's number 2. The Jets have a chance because the Patriots lose. If Miami loses, which they probably, Miami's going to lose. Miami's playing New England. If Miami loses, right, and the Patriots win, the Jets still got a chance because the Patriots won. But if Miami wins and the Patriots obviously would lose because they're playing each other, the Jets would be in. So that would be the take. So would you have Mike White cleared and Joe Flacco as your number 2? Or would you have Mike White cleared and then Zach Wilson active for Zach Wilson because anything can go happen in the game. You know what I mean?
Well, let's keep in mind, Mike White would have still been playing if he didn't get cracked up. Right. So you got to give him a chance in his last two. Your luck hasn't changed with Wilson. You got to give him a chance. I told you, Mike White won me over with that tough game and those two tough returns in that game with what you now know is cracked ribs. I think this is them giving themselves the best chance to win these last two out and give them a shot to get in the playoffs. I like the call. You already know how I feel about Flacco. Right. Flacco's there just to get a check. You cannot bank your playoff last hope on a guy who's just showing up for a check. You can't. So I like this call. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. Good news can turn into bad news. So if the good thing comes from Mike White, we went out these last two games with Mike White. That gives him a shot at not only the starting quarterback here, but like a career going forward in the NFL. However, that puts the nail on the coffin for Wilson. So it's good news for the team overall, but those two livelihoods, vice versa, immediately from the results. But I like the call.
Yeah, no doubt about that. So let me just ask this last question before I jump into the Tampa Bay game and then jump into the NBA. Since I'm talking to you, T, I got you up first. I'm going to keep the cycle in the same. What do you think should happen right now with Jimmy Garoppolo, and where do you think he will land? Because Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be basically an unrestricted free agent at the end of the season. He's signed anywhere he wants. Where does Jimmy G land? T?
To be honest with you, I think they keep him, man. Where's he going to go? I mean, San Fran has showed that they're one of the only teams that are willing to take a chance on an injury-prone quarterback like Jimmy G. Mm-hmm. And if they're willing to keep him and give him a few bucks over there, I see Jimmy staying.
No, you see him
I don't see a lot of people taking a big chance on him.
So you don't see him going to that Seattle Seahawks team? You don't see him going to – I mean, there's a couple places.
I think, to be honest with you, I don't think Seattle expected anything from Geno this year, and they got a lot more than they expected. Why wouldn't Geno stay there and try to build on what he started?
Okay, all right. I'm gonna leave you with that because he could land in the Jets. Like the Jets have that same offensive type. You know what I mean? He could land there.
I can see that.
Okay, Michael Sean, where does Jimmy G land? Because Jimmy G is an unrestricted free agent at the end of the season, bro. He could go anywhere and sign to anybody. Where does he land?
He's the only player that will probably take another pay cut and be paid hourly because he wants to be in San Francisco so bad. Like, no. I don't know what chick he got in San Francisco that he refuses to leave, but he wants to stay in San Fran something awful. I mean, you can take a chance on Jimmy G if you want, but if you ain't got a running game and you ain't got an offensive line that's tough and that can protect that man the way he needs to protect it, you're just asking for an Anthony Davis at quarterback. You're just asking for a problem. You're not going to give him big money because of his past history with injuries. You can't trust that he can survive a whole year, and it's not his fault. He didn't make himself. God made that body. So I don't know. I don't know where Jimmy G. I think Jimmy G will do anything he can to stay in San Fran. Anything. Okay,
so you see San Francisco. What about you, Mo? Where you see Jimmy G landing at, bro? Where's he landing?
I see him basically just staying with San Francisco. Why should San Francisco should even get rid of him? Every year we get the where the Jimmy G is gonna go conversation, and he winds up right back where he started from. You know, we gonna trade him, we gonna do this, we're gonna do that. Stop playing with the man's emotions, pay the man, and let him play. He's produced. You know, I don't understand why they went through this last year. He's always produced for them. It's not his fault that, he got hurt. Football is a game where everybody gets hurt. Pay the man.
He only costs a few $1 million a year anyway. Like I heard half his contract is based on commission. So like he gets a commission on every completion or something. No, he doesn't make that much money. Just keep him.
Yeah, every year it's like certain conversations come up, and this is the one in the NFL every year. Where's Jimmy? Pay the man. He's done what you ask him to do. He's that employee. He's going to be a disgruntled employee eventually.
Okay, so that's his take. So let me bring you in, T. Talk to me about to switch to the NBA. Excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you. Let's switch to the NBA, man. The Clippers ended up making an historic comeback last night. Because I'm not gonna lie, I looked at the game to a certain extent. When I saw the Clippers was losing by 14 with 3 minutes left to go in the game, I thought the game was over. I was flicking through the channel, I thought the game was over. The Clippers are one of two teams out of almost 10,000 that came back from being down by 14 points with 3 minutes left to go in the game, and they won. Clippers are putting it together, bro. What's your take on the historic comeback from the Clippers, bro? What's your take?
Well, we had our eye on them for the last few weeks. They're trying to be very competitive. If you look at the box scores, they are competing with some really good teams as of late. And this is just like the direction they're trying to go in. Now, I know we're in NBA, but we got to bring up Garoppolo. They have a Garoppolo too. Kawhi Leonard is their Garoppolo. Now, when Kawhi comes out and gives you a few games consecutively, I mean, it might be me, but doesn't it seem like that's when we mess around and run into the Paul George situation again? These two dudes who seemingly, as of late, became injury prone. You got two of them. Most teams who are crying the woes, like the Lakers and those guys like that, they'll have an AD out. This team will have this guy out, this guy out. But when you have your two key top players, this is like Durant and Kyrie both being injured now. Like your team becomes immediately depleted. So the key with them is, can they stay healthy? They look really good when they look good, but Can they sustain that? That's the problem with the Clippers. I love them. I love what they're doing, but look how early in the season we are.
Yeah, no doubt about that one. No doubt about that one. Mike, what's your take on the Clippers with the historic comeback right now? It seems like they're getting it together. Like they're winning some games over here. What's your take?
They'll win some playoff series, but I don't. People like they made a historical comeback against the Pistons.
Mm-hmm.
It took a historical comeback to beat the Pistons. Like, this team is going to win some playoff series. I think they'll win the first series. When they were fully healthy, I know they were brand new because everybody has an excuse for the Clippers. When they were in the bubble, they were at full strength and they got bounced. Like, I don't know what it is with this team, but I don't think they're going to do anything in the playoffs except do what they normally do. They'll win a series, get in the second round, and then it'll be a 6-game series and they'll lose. And we don't know if Kawhi's even going to play. We don't know if Kawhi's ever going to be regular again as a regular NBA player who's going to be able to play at least 60 games in a season. I think this is going to be I think his blueprint is this is him for the rest of his career now, unfortunately, because he's still going to be a Hall of Famer. It's unfortunate, but I don't think there's any way you can rely on Kawhi Leonard.
I don't think so either. Mo, what's your take on the Clippers with this historic comeback? Because they put it together, bro. They put it together.
Yeah, but to me, the Clippers are just like the Brooklyn Nets without the media drama. They physically, something's going to happen. It always happens. It's just like you want this team to do well. Like when the Brooklyn Nets got together, you want them to do well. You want Kawhi and Paul George and John Wall, who's making a good comeback for his career. You want them to do well. But it seems like stuff just comes out of nowhere and it derails them. And like Mike said, it was Detroit, and it was after they took their starters out.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, yeah, out of 12, like you said, out of 10,000 teams, it's, only a few have done it. But, I mean, really? That's just like, punching an old man in the face. You don't get no points for that.
Detroit had the nerve to take their starters out?
Yeah, I was just reading it. Detroit took their starters out, and then they made, because they thought we didn't finish the game. I guess you did.
They did take their starters out. They did, because they thought they did take their starters out. 8
games the entire season, and you got the nerve to be cocky enough to take your starters out to think you got the game blocked. You won 8 games the entire. Yo, I'm sick of this. Go ahead.
They won't do that again. So, T, the Brooklyn Nets now have won 9 straight games, bro. People are starting to say you better pay attention now. The Brooklyn Nets are right now, as we speak on today, they're one of the hottest teams in the league with 9 straight. My man KD got up and he was telling everybody, listen, obviously we now are covering our assignments, you know what I mean? And the coach is holding us all more responsible, you know what I mean? Like more responsible. But they're making noise. So my question to you, T, is should we be paying attention to the Brooklyn Nets, or is this just one of those moments?
This is what you get. You woke a sleeping giant. You poked the bear. Anti-Semitism now. The boy out there balling. Man, I think I seen him dunk on somebody with a yarmulke. I could be mistaken, but I think I think I seen a two-handed windmill bar mitzvah.
Windmill bar mitzvah.
They woke the sleeping giant, Frank. That's how sports go. You want somebody to play to their capability, piss them off.
They woke us sleeping
Running
giant.
through the ringer.
Mike,
And they did that to Kyrie's out there playing that point guard like we know he can. And it's just accent on top of one of the greatest scorers of all time, Kevin Durant. So when you watch them play, it's like poetry in motion. They clicking on all cylinders right now. They not missing assignments. I mean, this dude is like, when you blowing people out and beating people ass, you're laughing on the bench when you're out taking a breather. Mm-hmm. They got mad jokes on the bench. Watch the camera when it hits the bench, when they're on the bench together taking a breather, and the bench is out there playing. Watch the camaraderie, the laughter, the joke-isms, and all that. To me, they woke a sleeping giant, and we're going to see some primo Kyrie come down the wire this season. You know what I mean? I just think we are.
Okay. So, Mike, what's your take on this, bro? They got 9 straight, and they're keeping it moving.
I think we shouldn't be surprised. I think the problem is LeBron got people used to, you put a super team together, they come together, they go to the finals, they win or lose. That's not really what normally happens. It normally takes some time for two superstars to learn how to play basketball together because they've both been so ball dominant. Now these two have played 2 or 3 years together and they realize each other's tendencies. They know when I can take over here. And the fact that they both scored 32 points, like exactly score, just shows you how balanced they have now figured it out. Now all they need is these role players to keep doing their part. Keep doing their part. Keep rebounding. Keep hustling. Kevin Durant may not have to play the best offensive player on defense. You don't need him playing the best offensive player on defense, and then you want him to still be a star on the offensive side of the court. Do they need to be watched? Yeah. Are their egos been tapped for the last 3 years where everybody's been playing them out and having jokes about them? Yeah, they pissed off. And that's a dangerous thing. They don't care. They still don't. Right now, they're not playing for money. They're playing to show everybody that we are still elite in this league, and y'all been talking ish about us for way too long.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and nobody's even talking about Ben Simmons like in the bad way anymore. But he's supposed to be helping them out too. So Mo, what's your take on this?
Well, it seems like Kevin Durant is playing better defense. But this is the team, like I just said, you wanted the Nets to do good when they first put this team together. Like, Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, you wanted them to go. We always wanted them to do good. And it's not that we never said they weren't talented. We all knew this was the team that they could be anyway. It's the drama, man. Can they stop the drama? Is something going to happen outside of basketball that's going to derail this? That's the only thing I worry about. I never question these guys' talent. It's the drama.
Yeah, because the drama can come. But speaking of drama, let's look at Phoenix, T. Jay Crowder still has not suited up for the Phoenix Suns this year because he's holding out, right? And Phoenix is actively trying to trade him. I heard there's 3 teams. I heard the Lakers. I heard your Knicks, and possibly the Milwaukee Bucks. So my question is, it could be those 3 teams, but where do you think Jay Crowder's going to land? Because right now people are saying he's the catalyst and the reason why Phoenix ain't clicking. You know what I mean? They're missing his output. They're missing his offense. What's your take on this, Steve?
I mean, first of all, let's ask the elephant in the room question. Like, what you got to do to somebody that they just sit out?
You trying to get
like
paid?
You really you know what I mean? Like, because most players they demand a trade and they still play unhappy because that's what they do or whatever. But to sit out and wait for it, somebody pissed this man off. First of all, we want him in New York. We like pissed off players. We take all the pissed off players and bruise your ass up in the East Coast, the Eastern Conference. So I don't think he won't be with welcome arms in New York. But I think in my heart of hearts, he's going to end up in Milwaukee.
Yeah, I think he's going to land in
I think he's going to end up in Milwaukee, which is very scary because when those dudes click, other than Golden State, when you talk about a team clicking together, that's the only team that I could put right up there at the same level when you watch Milwaukee click on all cylinders. Like that fluidness, them and Golden State kind of equal with the fluidness. But I see him going, if anywhere, I see him ending up in Milwaukee. We could use him in New York. We like that kind of play. But hey, man, he's a big part of the team. And that's the problem about when you get these disgruntled players and athletes. If one pulls out, it could change the whole trajectory of the team.
Yeah, because Phoenix is definitely on a different trajectory right now. Mike, what's your take? What do you think Jay Crowder will land?
I hope it's not Milwaukee, but I would have to lean to Milwaukee. The interesting thing is that you would think a player on a team like Phoenix from the outside who's a contender, a supposed contender for a championship, he'd want to play, which means he knows the inner workings of what's going on in that team, and he realizes what a mess it really is. And he's getting it, and he's like, dog, I'm not going to sit around here and waste and potentially get hurt when I know I can force my way out of here to a contender. There's a mess going on in Phoenix, and it's worse than what we think it is. Because a dude like Jay Crowder, who's a very, 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 very good role player, does not hold out. Role players don't hold out. Role players don't go, I demand a trade. Normally you would look like, who the hell? You're Jay Crowder. Like, you're a very, very good role player. But normally that dude doesn't do that. That's like PJ Tucker just deciding, look, I demand a trade. That doesn't happen. You only fit on a championship quality team, that else you're wasting his skill set. But mark my words, the Phoenix Suns are about to implode because all that is coming to a head now. And when Jay Crowder leaves, he's going to spill the beans on the Suns on what's really going on. That's what I want to know. I need to gossip.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that too. Mo, what's your take on this, bro?
I mean, I don't know what's going on over in the Denver, but I don't want to see Jay Crowder in New York. I think, like they all said, that he goes to Milwaukee. I mean, he only averages 9 points a game. He comes to New York, we're going to be giving up somebody who's averaging way more than 9 points a game. The only place he can go, because LA don't need him. They need scorers. New York needs scorers. We don't need another defensive person. We need a scorer. So Milwaukee will be his best fit because he ain't got to do but so much.
Milwaukee's best fit. The New York Knicks, though, are also on the clock too, T. And the New York Knicks got a couple of people up for trade. So I'm going to ask you, T, who do you think the Knicks are going to trade before the trade deadline? Because I've heard of almost damn near everybody from the Knicks. And I don't know. I'm sure you guys know more because you're Knicks fans. So who do you think the Knicks will trade in order to keep them on and to keep, because they're winning. The Knicks are winning. You know what I mean? I think they're 8 out of 10. They 8-2 out of their last 10. You know what I mean? Don't quote me on that, but I know they're winning a lot of games. What's your take, T?
I see about three or four role players over there coming off the bench that we're gonna, you piece them together to make something solid, to get something solid. Like, you don't have a one guy to go and get a good one guy trade. The guys who are worthy of that, I think we're trying to hold on to. But you got a bunch of other guys, with skin problems and acne on the bench that might go somewhere else and find what they need skin wise. Maybe warmer weather. I don't know. Could be something that simple. But yeah, I'd see like 4 guys. I think we're keeping on. Robinson's came around the way we wanted to. I don't see him going anywhere. The obvious ones, the RJs. I even think we're gonna keep the Grimes cat is playing very well. You gotta keep in mind, Toppin's out. He's still there, but some people will trade injured players. And some people would trade for them if they got the time to wait for them. You know what I mean? Because Toppin's done right now. But somebody might say, hey, young, he's high flying. We like the way he plays. We'll take him over here and you wait till he gets healthy and use him. And it'd be an intricate part of our team. So I think it's the young guys on the bench.
Well, let me ask you this, though, T. And then I'm going to ask all you guys this. Zach LaVine's trying to get out of Chicago. Do you like Zach LaVine from Chicago to New York?
Not really. I'm not a LaVine fan. LaVine is only good to watch in the dunk contest.
Okay. All right. Okay. So that's his take. So Mike, Sean, the Knicks, they offering up a lot of players and everything else. Do you like the Knicks to make a trade? And if so, look at the time here. And if so, do you like Zach LaVine coming to New York?
No, we ain't got enough to get Zach LaVine. Like, we're gonna try it, and I'm not disagreeing with talent. I think he's a good player. We got Cam Reddish is gonna go. Derrick Rose is gonna be in something. They're gonna get rid of him. He's $14 million. They're gonna get rid of him. Fournier is gonna wind up going to somebody because he can shoot. Those guys are out the rotation. They've been out the rotation for over a month now. They've been sitting there watching everybody play. Like, they might as well get a job for the New York Post and report on the game at this point. So they're going to trade these guys. They're going to get them. They're going to get them off their salary cap. But we don't have enough to get anybody that's substantial. Like we got to literally wait till the offseason to see what free agents are available. So we're going to make a move, but it's going to be a lateral move. It's not going to be nothing that's going to change anything.
Okay. He said lateral move.
We're going to have to trade the Oregon player. We're going to have to trade the Oregon player.
Yo, this dude always takes somebody that has nothing to do with anything and throw him under the bus. Somewhere in the garden is the guy really on the organ, like, what I do?
Dun, 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 dun.
You played that off T. You're out of there. Mo, what's your take, Mo? You think the Knicks make a trade?
Yeah, I think they're gonna make a trade. I think RJ's out. Out of the players that's on the floor playing, I think they're gonna sacrifice quickly and RJ. That's just why I feel about it. I think they're gonna sacrifice them too. They can go, then the Lamb's going to slaughter, and the rest of the pieces that's on the bench will go with it too. That they're gonna sacrifice Rose, even though he's good off the bench and he's a good mentor, but he's out of there soon. Fournier, they just waiting for somebody to be slow enough, to take that contract. As soon as they take it, he's out of here. They'll give away Fournier right now for a hill of beans, man, for real.
Yeah.
So I think the players that's active. Look out, I think RJ's gonna be gone. I'll take Levine over RJ, and I think quickly they might just sacrifice him.
So you would take Levine if you're the Knicks, you would take him.
Yeah, I'd take Levine.
Yeah, okay. All right. So there it is. He would take Levine. All right, so I'm looking at the showtime. Looks like we got to give you a roll up out of here. We got some more stuff to talk about tomorrow. Looking forward to that too. So let me see. T, tell everybody out there what you got going on, bro.
Hey, man, your boy is chilling during the holidays, but like I said, right after this weekend, catch me in Baltimore. Putting it down, the Comedy Factory in Baltimore. Me and my cousin Ed Lover, we're doing the Cousins of Comedy weekend there. So come check us out Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Gonna make it happen. And Sunday, you know what it is. Back up to Beantown with my man Frank in the Humor Mill. We're putting it down at Laugh Boston. Come on out, stop playing. Mo tore it up. Last time. This time I think Fig Man's there tearing it up. We got a nice lineup. Kenny Webb. It's gonna be crazy.
I'm looking forward to that. Michael Sean, talk to me, bro.
Look, don't worry about what I'm doing. Just worry about that these three squares yelled at me and said Seattle couldn't go to Kansas City and beat them. They were like, "You gonna learn today. You gonna learn today. Just watch it. Any given Sunday, man. Any given Sunday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It don't matter. Don't follow nothing. Just don't listen to the other squares on this show when they gang up on you. They mob me."
Michael Shaw, give it the way it is supposed to be. Mo, talk to me, bro.
Yeah, this Thursday, you can catch me in the north end of Boston. I'm at Asagio's, opening up for the Vegas legend, the funny Vinny Favorino. I'm down there. And then, like Tyler said, Brown Sugar Sundays at Laugh Boston. I just started a new TikTok. I've been getting a lot of messages. It's called Mr. Sit Your Ass Down. I put it at the bottom. I did two videos. I'm gonna put clips from some segments I do here and some new ones. I'm getting some hits, man. I'm seeing
the last person that sat their ass down lost their job. That's the organ player for Madison Square Garden.
Yo,
that's because he sat down next to Mike.
Shout out to JJ Watt, who officially retired too, man. I wanted to talk about that for a hot second. I guess we'll do that tomorrow. The show's called Box Seats. Comes back on the 7th and 11th tonight. We'll be back in tomorrow at 1 o'clock, and we're going to do it all over again. That's Talent. That's Mike. That's Mo. A couple other guys going to come in maybe tomorrow, maybe not. We'll figure it out. Thank you all for watching. We'll see y'all. Take care.